I'm Jessica here at Pilates Workouts Online, and today we're going to get started with another Reformer basic flow. Before we get started, remember to hit that subscribe button. And to set up our equipment for our class today, we're going to take that foot bar into the down position. So I place my foot bar all the way down, and then I have all my springs on the carriage. My headrest is also in the down position. We're going to start by laying supine onto the carriage. I'm going to take my feet straight out over that foot bar, and I'm going to reach my arms up to the sky. Let's begin with some scapular isolation. So I'm going to reach my hands up to the ceiling and then pull back down. So think about moving my shoulder blades off the mat and then back onto the mat. Let's do that 2 more times. If it feels better for you for this next part, you can always have your knees bent with your feet on the platform instead. I do have my platform extender on, however, that is not needed. With those hands reaching up to the sky, we're going to lift up into our 100 and we're going to pump those arms at our side. You can keep the legs on the foot bar. You can work to bring one leg up at a time, alternating those legs as we pump. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Or if you're feeling good, maybe bring both of those legs up to your hover. And you can always bring those legs higher to the ceiling or bring those knees into your chest if needed. Go to where you can today. Feel like you're slapping water. We're going to do 2 more, and we're going to lower everything back down, reaching those hands overhead, and we're going to roll all the way up to seated, reaching forward towards those toes, and then slowly articulate the spine back down, and then we'll repeat going into our roll up. And you can always just go halfway down and back up instead of going all the way to the carriage. And of course, just making sure you're in a good spot to where you're coming right against those shoulder blocks as you come down. If you need more space, you can always inch yourself forward. Your shoulder range of motion will be a little bit limited by just having those shoulder blocks there. Let's do 2 more times with that roll up. After the last one, we're going to stay down onto the carriage. And as we stay down to the carriage, I'm going to grab a hold of the pegs right behind my shoulder blocks. And then from here, I'm going to bring both legs up to the ceiling, going into our rollover, reaching those legs up overhead, flex the feet open to shoulder width, and then peel your spine down. Keeping those legs open, let's roll back over. And then point the toes, legs together, and peel back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Legs together, roll up and over. Open shoulder distance, flex the feet, peel back down. And then 1 more time, keeping those legs open, roll up and over. Legs together, point the toes, and articulate the spine back down. We're going to lower one leg down to the foot bar, grab a hold of the other thigh, and let's bend and straighten this leg, getting ready for our 1 leg circle. I'm going to do 2 more. I'm going to hold that leg as straight as I can. You can take your hands to your side or hold the pegs, and let's circle this leg. Small circle or a big circle. Imagine that toe as the tip of a pencil. Let's do 2 more. And then after that last one, let's reverse, other way. And we'll do 2 more. After that last one, let's release that leg to the foot bar. Bring the other leg up, grab the back of your thigh. Let's straighten and bend that leg a few times. Prepping for the circle. And think about the other leg just pressing down to that foot bar. Let's hold this leg just straight. Hands at your side or hold the pegs. And let's circle this leg. Deep into the breath. Making that circle as round as you can. Let's do 2 more. And then after that last one, let's reverse. Go the other way. Think about that toe being the tip of the pencil. Pressing your other foot down onto the foot bar. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, we're going to take that foot back onto the foot bar, reaching those hands up to the sky. Let's roll all the way up to seated. I'm going to take my legs off to one side so I can put my foot bar back into its footwork setting. And then I'm gonna drop down for my footwork springs. I'm gonna drop down to 2 greens and a red, but you can always do your lighter setting at 2 reds and a blue, or kind of a medium with 3 reds. Let's lay supine onto our carriage. As we come down, let's take both feet on our toes, legs together like one, and let's press out and come back in. Find that deep squat, coming all the way in towards the stopper. And every time you press out, that's a nice chance to just think about that length in the body. Let's do 2 more. And then let's move into our arches. Towards the center of the foot, still with those legs together like one. And then press out and back in. Think about standing and squatting as we move. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, as we come in, let's take one leg up to tabletop, and then we'll press out and back in. You can always bring that knee closer to your chest as well, or hold that leg out straight. Resisting that carriage back in. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, let's switch to our other side, bringing that foot on, find your position, and then take the other leg up. Whatever position you had on the other side with this leg. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, let's bring that foot back onto the Footbar. And then let's lower down onto our toes, still in that parallel position. And we're gonna press our legs out to straighten, hold it out for some calf raises. Sink both heels under and back up. So keeping that carriage out as we just move at the ankle. And let's do 2 more. On the last one, let's hold those heels up and then go to prancing. Alternating that knee bend. And let's do that one more time to each side. Sink both heels back under. Let's bring that carriage back in. And we're going to take our feet on top of that Footbar into a parallel stance. You can be on your heels or your arches. And let's start by going into our flat back bridge. We're going to lift our hips straight up and then hinge back down. Flat back lift and lower. Hinging like a door frame, doing your best to keep that carriage in towards the Footbar. And of course, if your hamstrings need more support, you can either take your feet to that platform or just add some additional springs onto your carriage. Let's add into this one. Let's lift up and hold, and then articulate, peel the spine back down. So we're gonna flat back lift, and then articulate bone by bone on the way down. Flat back lift, articulate the spine back down. Think about that pelvis being pulled towards that Footbar as you come down. And let's do 2 more. On the last one, we're going to stay lifted with our hips, and let's go to marching. One leg up at a time. Alternating those legs. Think about keeping those hips level as those legs are doing different things. So focus on pressing down to the Footbar to help bring the other leg up. Let's do that one more time. each side. And then once we're even, let's peel that spine down. Hug the knees into your chest. Let's rock up to seated. We're gonna get ready for our stomach massage. So I'm gonna drop down to my 2 greens. You can also stay at 2 reds for this one. Holding onto the front of your carriage, let's round that spine back, taking our feet into our Pilates first on our toes. And we're gonna press back, sink the heels under, lift them up, and then come back in. Feel that tuck of the pelvis as you come in. Still hanging back into those arms. And think about being rounded from your tailbone to your head. Let's do 2 more. After that last one, as we come in, I'm gonna reach my hands back onto the shoulder blocks, lifting my chest. You can always bend the elbows or even take your hands onto the carriage if it's better for you. And let's press out and do the same thing. Still adding that calf raise in. Feel that tuck of the pelvis as you're bringing that carriage in. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, bring that carriage back and you can release your feet down. And I'm gonna change to a red and a blue spring. You could do 2 reds if you wanna go heavier. And we're gonna lay back down onto our carriage. Let's grab onto our short loops, reaching our hands to the sky above our shoulders, feeling that tension in the arms. And then once you're ready, let's bring those legs up to our chest, knees to the chest. And let's lower those arms and lift. Lower and lift. You can stay here or reach those legs out straight. Maybe adding on our chest lift as those arms pull down. And let's do 2 more, just prepping for our 100. Let's hold those hands at our side and just a small up and down. Pressing into those loops. Think about the loops reaching towards that foot bar. Maybe bringing those legs lower if your body allows. And let's do 2 more. And then we'll reach those hands back up to the ceiling, bring those legs back into our chest. We're gonna lower the arms as we reach the legs out straight. Open the arms to a T, pull back in, and then bend the knees as those hands go back up to the sky. Press those legs out straight as those hands reach down, open out to a T, pull back in, and then repeat. So the arms lower, legs reach out, hold the legs out as you open to a T, and then everything pulls back in. Almost like a variation of our mat Pilates double leg stretch. And you could stay up in your chest lift for this one or keep the head down, so honor your bodies. Let's do 2 more sets. After this last one, let's take those longer loops onto our feet. Bring those heels together, toes apart. And let's press those legs out to straight. Let's lift and lower those legs. Straight up and back down. Think as those legs go up, you're still keeping your hips on that carriage. And let's do 2 more. On the last one, let's hold those legs down about halfway, heels together, toes apart, and let's go to our stag into our Peter Pan. 1 frog leg, 1 diagonal leg. And you can always skip this one and just do your regular frog instead. It's almost like doing a lateral lunge as we open those legs. And let's do that 1 more time to each side. Once we're even, let's just go to our large circles, pressing into those loops. Think about those legs reaching away from your body. Let's do 2 more. After that last one, let's reverse and go the other direction. Staying connected into that breath as you circle. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, you can reach those legs up to the sky for a hamstring stretch. Grab a hold of those ropes, maybe bend one knee at a time, alternating. Once you're feeling even, straighten both legs. Let's go that inner thigh stretch. And we're going to bring those legs back and we're going to release the loops from our feet. Find the foot bar. Send those longer loops back onto the pegs. And then hold on to those pegs. Let's take those legs back up to that tabletop and let's drop those legs left to right, side to side. You can also do this with straight legs, or you can keep your feet on the foot bar if that feels nicer for your body. Think about the upper body reaching onto the carriage as that lower body dips side to side. And let's do that one more time to each side. Once we're even, we're going to roll up to seated, so feel free to roll to one side. Otherwise, you can teaser yourself up, swivel those legs off to one side. And we're going to keep our same spring. I still have my red and a blue on. You can also stay at 2 reds for this one. We're going to come onto our knees, facing towards the foot bar. Going into our knee stretch, toes tucked, heels against the shoulder blocks. And we're going to sit our hips back. From here, we're going to round our spine from our head to our tailbone, and then press out and come back in, moving from those hips. Looking towards your inner thighs. And think about those heels pressing back into the shoulder blocks. Feel that deeper tug of the pelvis as you come back in. Let's do 2 more. And then as that carriage comes back in, let's move more into our flat back position. Open that chest, look forward. And then the same thing, moving from those hips. Press out and pull back in. Getting some hip extension as we press those legs back. Those heels into the shoulder blocks. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, bring that carriage back in. Let's lift up to flat feet, come into standing for elephant. Lean your weight back into those legs. We're going to do more of a flat back. Press the carriage out and back in. Staying heavy in the heels. Pressing from those hips. Ears between the arms. You can also think about being a little heavier to that pinky finger side of the hands. And let's do 2 more. After that last one, we're going to bring that carriage back in. Let's lower down onto our knees. And then we're going to get ready for our short box. So I'm going to move my carriage out because that's more appropriate for me in this position. I'm going to grab that short box. Short box on the carriage. My box goes up against the shoulder blocks, but some boxes might go over, so do what's appropriate for you. And then we're going to add a couple more springs on to keep the carriage stable. So I have all my springs on. And then we're going to sit on the box facing towards the foot bar. Let's reach down to grab that loop. And we're going to take our feet underneath that, hooking and securing ourselves. And then I'm going to scoot back and lift my feet up into that loop. You could always have your butt more forward on the box and keep your feet on the platform with those feet wide, which will give your body a little bit more support. So whichever option's better for you. Let's wrap our hands over our abdomen. Let's round our spines back and then come back to upright. Tuck in that pelvis, rounding back and back up. Staying connected with the breath. Finding your range of motion as you round back. We are still staying in a little bit of a C shape though as we go back. So we're not going all the way to flat. Let's do 2 more. After this last one, we'll come back to upright. Let's reach those hands out in front of us and let's do more of our flat back hinge. So I'm going to flat back, lean back, and come back up. Lean back, and back up. So hinging from those hips. Leaning back as we hang into that strap. And letting your eye gaze just look up towards the ceiling. And back down. Looking up. And back down. And you can always just keep those hands out in front of you, lifting them to the ceiling. We'll add into the challenge. Let's do 3 more. After this last one, we'll come back to upright, and we're going to take our hands behind our head, and we're just going to side bend, left to right, side to side. Think about both hips being anchored down as you try to lift your ribs up and over into that side bend. Let's do that one more time to each side. And then as we come back to center, I'm going to release one leg from the strap. The other one is still hooked. I'm going to grab the back of my thigh, feeling my hips on that box. We're going to rock back into our C curve. I'm going to straighten that leg, walk my hands up the leg, and then come back up. I'm going to bend the knee, round my spine back, straighten the legs, walking my hand up to where I can, and then bring my body back to upright. We'll repeat that 2 more times on the side for a modified tree. Round back, straighten, walk up, and come back up. 1 more. And then we'll give that a try on our other leg. So find your body, bend that knee, grab the back of your thigh, rock back, straighten the leg, walk yourself up, and come back up. Bend the knee, round the spine back, straighten the leg, walk your hand up, bend the knee, and round back. Straighten the leg, walk yourself up, bend the knee, and round back for 1 more. Good. And then you can release that leg, take that foot back down, take your foot out of that loop, we're going to step off to the side, and I'm going to turn my box into a long box, up against the shoulder blocks. I'm going to bring my carriage back in, and I'm going to also drop down to a single red. You can always do a blue to go a little bit lighter, or if you're feeling pretty strong today, if you do have that single green. If you don't have a green spring, a red and a yellow should be pretty close to that tension. I'm going to leave my footbar up, but you can always place yours down if that does feel like it's in your way. Let's lay prone onto our belly, facing to the back, towards the straps. Chest off the front, knees off the back, as close to that as your body fits. And then let's grab onto our ropes. Taking those straps to the outside of your machines. Take a moment, find your body. Reaching those legs back nice and long. You could even bend the knees, press your heels together. Opening the legs wide, toes out to the sides of the room is another option. Let's pull those arms straight back towards our hips and then down to the floor. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, down. You can stay here neutral with your spine, or if you're ready, you could add that back extension in. Pull the arms and lift the torso. So think about your shoulder blades starting to draw down toward your back pockets, and that helps to engage those armpits. You press into those ropes to help lift yourself up. So we're lifting from our back muscles. And if you're not finding that yet, just stick with those arms moving. And the neck stays long with the spine. So we're not lifting that head up. We're just looking to the floor a little bit in front of us and then looking back below us. Almost like a marble rolls away from you and then back underneath you. Let's do 3 more. Find that pause as your arms pull back. And work to get those hands all the way to the seam of the pants as you pull back. On this last one, let's hold our arms back. Breathe into it, deep inhale. Exhale, one more time, inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release everything back down. We'll take the loops back onto the pegs. And then once your carriage is in, let's press up onto our hands and our knees on the box. If this doesn't feel good for you, you can take the box to the floor, or you can just do these moves on the floor instead. We're gonna start with some cat-cows. Round your spine onto your inner thigh. Open up, extend your spine to look forward. So round that spine, and then open up, extend the spine. So we're getting into some more flexion through our spine as we round. A little bit more extension through our spine as we look forward. Let's do 2 more. After that last one, let's settle into our neutral position. And let's look over our left shoulder to our left hip, and then right shoulder to your right hip. Little lateral flexion, side to side. 1 more time each side. Once we're even, come back to center. Let's reach that opposite arm to leg out, come back in, and then other side out and back in. You can always keep the hands down and just work on doing the legs, especially up here on the box on the carriage, because we don't have a lot of spring support with that single red I have on. If I start to shake or feel unsteady, I'm gonna feel that all the way through the box and the carriage. So take your time as those limbs reach away. Let's do that 1 more time to each side. Once we're even, let's step off to one side of our carriage, and we're gonna stand facing towards the box. We're gonna go into a pure reformer stretch, so I'm gonna take one leg onto the box, ankle and knee down. I'm gonna hop my foot on the floor back a little bit, and then I'm gonna fold myself forward. You can always stay upright. And if this is too high for you, again, you can take that box to the floor, and you can just do this from a seated position instead. Let's come back to upright. This leg on the box, let's just straighten the leg so my hips are facing straight ahead. We're gonna go into a hamstring stretch. You can stay upright or fold yourself forward. Maybe even reaching more forward on that box as well. Let's take another deep inhale, and then we'll slowly bring that foot down to the floor. Let's bring that opposite leg up. And if this knee can't quite get all the way down, you can always put a small ball underneath the knee to help support that leg. Find your position. Maybe that foot on the floor, hop it back a little bit to give your body more space before you fold forward. And then we'll come back up, getting ready for that hamstring stretch. Let's straighten that leg in front of us. Both hips face straight ahead, and you can fold your body forward. Maybe reaching forward to the front edge of the box if you can. And then we'll slowly bring that foot back down to the floor. And then I'm just gonna walk over to this side. Let's reach those hands up to the sky, take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring those hands back down. Let's do that 1 more time, deep inhale. Thank you for joining me for this Reformer Basics, where we stayed on the Reformer while still incorporating some of our mat work into our series. And if you're looking to dive deeper into the mat and the Reformer work, join me at PilatesWorkoutsOnline.com. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys back here soon.